this is Backdraft, and before we start the video, I just wanted to let you know that I am hosting a giveaway on my channel, and as of this video being posted, it is now officially live. All you have to do is like the video, be subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below, and you are entered to win this brand new Logitech G213 Prodigy gaming keyboard. It is absolutely free to enter. All you got to do, like I said, like the video, be subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below. You have 7 days to do this from the posting of this video, and you will be entered into the giveaway. Thank you guys so much for your support. Welcome into 2022. Happy New Year. Hope you guys enjoy the content. Take care. Hey guys, this is Backdraft, and welcome to another episode on the Create Above and Beyond mod pack. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you love the Create mod, Minecraft automation, and redstone engineering, then this is definitely the series and the channel for you. So be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell for notifications so you never miss another video. If you did miss the last episode or you want to catch up, the playlist for the series is linked in the description. But in last episode, we got our mega base up and running. It took hours upon hours for the schematic cannon to get this building up, but it is finally done. And here we have base, Backdrafts, Aeronautics, and Space Enterprises. And since last episode, we've been cleaning up the interior a little bit. We still have a few chest monsters laying around over here and over there. We need to get the middle going as well. We're going to move the Tinker's Smeltery. There's still lots and lots to do. Over here, I've actually revamped the iron farm. I had to move it because it was accidentally built into the wall by the schematic cannon. But I actually replaced the mechanical press that we had over here with a compacting drawer. This actually makes it a lot easier to get iron ingots and blocks of iron because all of the iron nuggets that are fed into the drawer are automatically compacted down into the iron ingots and blocks of iron. Essentially, the way it works is it's a representation of what you have, and you actually don't have to craft those things, if that makes any sense. Another quick thing that we did is we made this staircase down to the mob farm from the inside of the base, which is really awesome, and we kind of prettied up this area a little bit just to make it a little more along the lines of what we're using for the palette for the base. We have a bunch of items gathered up in the mob farm over here, which I'm sure are going to come in handy at some point. One other quick thing to note, we have upgraded the mod pack to the latest version, and I haven't noticed too many differences yet, although one really big change is the slime boots have been completely changed in terms of the recipe, and my slime boots have been replaced with a sky slime block, so they're gone. I guess what they changed was that if I look up the recipe, I think it's just slime boots. Yeah, so the only way to get slime boots now is you need a rabbit's foot and ender slime. So I guess they wanted to change the recipe for this. I mean, I guess that's okay. I think they're a little OP for early game, but that's okay because we still have our angelic feather, which is going to protect us from fall damage. So the mechanism assembly line is currently turned off, and for good reason, because in this episode, I want to make it my goal, or at least the first thing we do. I don't know how long this episode is going to be, but we're going to be building our official power plant. So we have all of our windmills and water wheels underneath the floor over here. Those are all going to be removed, and the water wheels that we have outside powering the water pumps, and we're going to be building an official power plant just outside of the base over there. So this area right behind me is where the power plant is going to go. I have it fully designed out. We designed the whole thing on a live stream, which was a lot of fun. If you guys want to watch some live streams, get some extra content on this channel, I stream every Monday and Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m. EST. Come and hang out. So the power plant is actually powered by a gigantic kelp farm that compacts all the kelp down into kelp blocks and feeds them into flywheels. So we're going to be replacing all of our power sources with flywheels with this power plant, and we have a pretty awesome build that's going to go around it to match the palette of the mega base. So that's the first thing we're going to do in this episode. I have a lot of resource collection to do. We're going to need a lot more white concrete and a bunch of other create items. We need to make the flywheels. There's a lot of brass that we're going to have to collect up, so let's get cracking. So here's the list of the materials that we're going to need for the power plant, and the biggest highlights, of course, are all of the brass materials: 22 brass funnels, 5 brass tunnels, 80 campfires. That's actually quite impressive. Then we're going to need a bunch of create items as well, 65 encased chain drives. There's a lot to this. Now here's where we're going to be consuming a lot of brass. In addition to the funnels and the tunnels, 10 flywheels, 10 furnace engines. We also need 518 glass, which is quite a bit as well. And of course, much like our mega base build, we need a lot of smooth quartz and a lot of white concrete. So 3,283, that is base white concrete, and then we also need, I think that there is another white concrete variant in here as well. The twisted variant, I know we have a lot of that. I thought that there was another variant of concrete in here as well, but I guess not. But anyway, like I said, lots of resource collection to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove all of these windmills and all of the water wheels, because I think that those were the cause of all that horrible lag that we were seeing in the previous episode. A bunch of people pointed it out. I did some testing in a testing world, and as you can see already, our frames are already improving with stopping these windmills. So this was definitely a cause of lag. Hopefully it should be much more smooth now without these laggy power plants in place. So one challenge in resource collection that I just ran into is actually getting the flywheels and the furnace engines. So if we look at these, the flywheels actually cost us 8 brass and a brass casing. So I did the math on the furnace engines and flywheels, and we're going to need 90 brass ingots. Now, I don't have enough copper and zinc right now to make that many brass ingots, but what we can do is we can actually buy the brass ingots for 48 silver per 8, which comes out to 6 silver per brass ingot. And if we need 90 of them, it's gonna end up being somewhere along the lines of 8.5 stacks of silver. Now, since this bad boy has been cranking out like crazy, we currently have 52 gold, which is the equivalent of 52 stacks of silver plus another 2 roughly. So we have way more than enough silver to be able to buy all that brass. I think I'm going to do that right now. In the future, we're going to be automating our brass production when we expand our silver farming. But for now, we're just going to buy it. So now we're crafting up the flywheels. To do this, we have to use the mechanical crafter with 8 brass ingots in a circle like that, and then one off to the left, a brass casing. Then to activate it, we just push this button and then wait 745,000 years for this recipe to combine into a flywheel. We already got the 10 furnace engines, and we're making progress on all the other materials as well. We're going to keep on cranking, and we're going to get this power plant up. Yet another successful resource collection session. We now have everything that we need to build the power plant. All of it is in these chests right here. Quite a bit of materials. Still didn't take nearly as long as the collection that took for the mega base. But anyway, this is where the power plant is going to go, and we're going to be using the schematic cannon once again. So that means we get another third-person time lapse. I hope you guys enjoy. Let's get the power plant up and running. Roll that music. that time lapse, here is the finished product for the power plant. So we use the same palette as we did for the mega base. Obviously it's much smaller. I don't know if you guys can see depending on the brightness of your monitors, but we have the smoke coming out of the giant smokestack, and we've got the main building over here. This thing turned out super awesome. It's a bit complicated, so let me pop inside and show you what we're working with. Over here, we have our flywheel array. So we have 10 flywheels, each one producing 32,000 stress. So we're producing about 320 to about 330,000 stress units with this machine. There is obviously room to expand. I think there's enough space for us to get to about 1 million stress, which I don't even know if we're going to be able to use that much this season. Well, this series, but we'll see. I honestly have no idea. So in the smokestack, we have a stack of kelp farms. Each one is pretty big. I think each one is about 20 by 20 or something like that, spinning super fast. Underneath the kelp farm is what's powering the entire system. We have a gigantic windmill here, which is producing 6,000 stress. That is powering everything from the belts to these mechanical presses to the kelp farm. You can see that this thing is spinning super fast. So there are 5 total kelp farms stacked on top of each other. Once again, some room for expansion in case we ever need to produce more. The kelp is all getting fed into this drawer right here and then evenly distributed across these 5 belts, which are then hooked up to encased fans. Well, there's encased fan on either side of the belt, which are smoking the kelp down into dried kelp, then feeding them into these basins here, and these mechanical presses are compressing them down into dried kelp blocks, which are collecting up into these drawers right here. And then inside of each of the furnace engines, we have the dried kelp that's collecting up. And this is a cheeky little trick. What we have on top of the furnace engines are encased fans, which are connected up to a redstone clock up here. Let me jump up there so you guys can see what I'm talking about. We have a clock right here, all powered by this adjustable repeater right here. So every second we're pulsing the encased fans and then shutting them off repeatedly. So what's happening here is we're actually feeding in coal blocks into the blast furnace for a second. That will activate the fuel, which is the dried kelp blocks, but the coal ore that we're using in there will never actually get consumed. All the flywheels actually need to continuously run is the fuel burning. It doesn't matter what you're actually consuming. Now, traditionally, I know other people are using whatever ore, like iron ore. I tried using iron ore initially, but in this mod pack, for whatever reason, you can't smelt iron ore in a blast furnace. So we're just doing coal ore. Each one of these has coal ore going in and out of it, cycling every second. You can see it getting sucked out by the fan and then getting placed back into the furnace. So all of the flywheels are connected up and converge right here on this gearbox. And if we look at this stressometer, we are producing 327,000 stress units. Occasionally, one of them won't produce as much when it's in between. But I mean, it fluctuates. You can see it kind of flash in between. If one of them starts slowing down because it's waiting for the fuel to start up again, it will only happen for about 1 second, so we shouldn't have any issues. This is hopefully way more than enough stress we're going to need for a while. This turned out super awesome. Let me know what you guys think, if there's any way I can improve this. Or if you've built something similar, you've done something differently, leave that down in the comments as well. But we're now going to run a tunnel of shafts underneath the ground back into the base and hook up all of our contraptions to this farm. Alrighty, so we've ran the line. Everything is currently hooked up and back up and running, but we ran into a problem with the power plant. I don't know exactly what is going on. It's super weird, but let me show you guys what's going on. So we ended up losing 9 of the flywheels. For whatever reason, one of them is still intact. You can see it spinning over there, but it was because the system, the windmill that's powering the system, for some reason, this is all getting overstressed. Now, I switched the RPM to 27 from 28, but watch, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Watch this. So if I switch to 28, it goes from being overstressed to not overstressed. What's going on here? It like locks and then unlocks, locks and then unlocks, locks and then unlocks. But then I switch it to 27 RPM and it's fine. Like, what's going on? I don't know. But anyway, everything's hooked up. So at least we're done with that. And 27 RPM seems to be working. What? So I think the power plant is stable for now. I don't know if that's some sort of glitch or if I'm just missing something. Once again, throw that in the comments if you guys know what's going on. So everything is now hooked up to the power plant. It's running beautifully. We got our mechanism assembly lines going again. So the next thing I want to do is I want to actually clean up the middle here and clean up my chest monsters and just make this place a little bit nicer. Expand out the storage a bit. We're eventually going to be transitioning to storage drawers, but for now we're going to leave the chests where they are. So I'm going to be moving the smeltery to over there, I think, or over there. One of the two, either there or over there. And then I also have my crushing wheels ready to go just to have generic crushers for crushing down anything that we want. And I want to make a mechanical pressing array and a bigger bulk blaster and something that we can swap out for bulk washing as well. There's definitely some space there, and then against the walls over there as well. So we're going to be putting all of that into place, cleaning up the middle here and just making everything a little bit more nice and consistent. So I got the Tinker Smeltery moved successfully over there, kind of squeezed it into that little square so there's room to put something next to it if we need to. And we moved our crushing wheels actually over there. I don't know if we're going to leave them there because let me tell you what we're actually going to be doing next. So I'm going to be expanding out the storage system in the middle here. I'm going to add a bunch more chests. And then once we actually get inductive mechanisms going, we're going to be transitioning to a storage drawer system so that we can use the storage drawer controller, because I don't want to have to manually manage all of the storage drawers. That will get annoying. So I'm going to expand out just the chests for now, and I think we're going to put our pressing array and our bulk blaster slash washing array like in the middle somewhere. Like, so we're gonna have like the storage system in like these two squares here, and then I think like next to it somewhere, because there's gonna be a lot of space in the middle. We're probably only going to need these two squares along the edges here and over there as well for the assembly line. It shouldn't get too big, but we're going to reserve that space for the assembly line. So let's get to going on the storage system. We have a big chest monster over there that we have to sort through as well. We got to get the pressing array and the washing array up as well. Let's get cracking. Everything is now set up and it is looking super cool. So we have our centralized storage over here. Eventually this is all going to be storage drawers, but for now it is just chests. We have everything labeled, properly set up, and it is awesome. So in the middle here, I've actually laid out some crafting tables, smithing tables, and stone cutters so that we have one at an arm's reach wherever we are in the storage system. Now over here we have our create contraption set up. The first one is a mechanical pressing array, which is set up right now to get all of the different kinds of sheets that we're going to need. We just have to jump up here, dump the materials into this chest here, and they will end up in this one down here. I can actually demonstrate that real quick. Let me just grab some iron. I'll jump up in the back here, plop the iron ingots back there, and they will get evenly distributed between these mechanical presses and make the sheets in bulk very fast. Super awesome. All of that's connected up, and everything else is also connected up to the power plant as well via shafts that are underneath the floor. Super cool. Next up, we just have some basic crushing wheels. If we ever get some ore or anything we need to crush, we can just plop it in this chest up there and it will end up down here. Super simple. And then of course, last but not least, we have the washing, blasting, and smoking array over here. So these belts are actually really slow because I wanted to keep this compact. We have 6 fans, 3 over here and 3 over here that are pushing either the lava, the water, or the campfire, which we have here, onto the central belts and making them blasted, washed, or smoked, however you want to say that. I don't know how you say that, whatever. And then back here is where we would dump what we would need into this chest over here and get evenly distributed amongst these belts and end up in this chest over here. I also have a chest here in case we want to switch between washing, blasting, or smoking. Super cool. So now that we have centralized power up and running, I can't wait to see what else we come up with in the coming episodes. We need to get inductive mechanisms going, and we need to get our automatic create components going as well. We're going to be taking some of the andesite from over there and distributing it out to make cogs, shafts, gearboxes, and casings automatically when we feed some wood in there as well. But that's probably going to be in the next episode. That is all the time I have for this episode. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you like this, please don't hesitate to hit that thumbs up And if you're looking forward to future episodes of Create Above and Beyond, then hit that subscribe button and the bell for notifications. And do not forget about the giveaway that has officially started with the posting of this episode. All you got to do is like the video, be subscribed to the channel, and leave a comment down below, and you'll be entered to win a brand new Logitech gaming keyboard. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you again. Bye-bye. Happy New Year.
Yeah, we are in the place to be. Yeah.